Whoa. I was looking at my phone here and I almost dropped it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another daily vlog with me, Oscar. Obviously, if you're watching this right now, we are live on my Facebook page, but I'll be uploading a clip. Well, not really the clip, it's the whole thing up on my YouTube channel, and also posting a clip of this on Twitter and Instagram, and a link back to the full video. So you're gonna have different ways of watching it, but currently I'm just streaming to Facebook. I ended up buying a couple of little hardware accessories that might give me the ability to really effectively answer some of your questions live and then feature them right on the screen below, and also just make my computer run a lot better when doing these Facebook Live, so we can stream to YouTube as well. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I do have a special guest today. First of all, let me say that we are going to be discussing the life living during these times, during this coronavirus pandemic. But if you're looking for information, up to the minute information, updates on the COVID-19, go to cdc.gov, follow your local news stations, and also follow all of your local leaders and health officials. Okay, well, let's get started. My guest today is a reporter in Texas, Elisa. Hi, how are you? Elisa Navarro, everybody.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right. So how is everybody dealing with, this pandemic over in your neck of the woods right now?
Well, I guess over here just a couple of days ago, they actually put a shelter in place. So, we officially kind of shut down and everyone's kind of staying at home unless you work somewhere essential or need something essential. So that kind of made things a little bit hectic for everyone because they're getting nervous or they feel like they need to hurry up and rush or get what they need. But it's really all just for precautions because we only have about, I think it's 17 cases last time I checked in my county, but Central Texas, the area I cover, is very big. So we've got three different counties. Laura, I don't have it up right now, but we have more than 17 cases added up in total. So those numbers are going up slowly, and people just have to be very careful. But work related, we've all worked remotely. We all work remotely now, so that's different. But I think people are reacting here the way they are everywhere else, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, how are you liking working remotely?
I think for me, nothing really changed. I know that sounds weird, but like as a reporter, I feel like sometimes I grab my stuff and I get in my car and I go to my story and I work from my vehicle. I send everything back. If I drove 40 minutes out for a story or breaking news last minute, I constantly work from my car. So it didn't feel very different, except that when I do have time to get back, instead of going to the station, I'm going home. And just adjusting to working from home is a little bit different because home is like the place you go to relax and forget about work. And now you're stressing here and then staying to relax in your own home. So that kind of throws you off a little bit, but hasn't been that bad for me, at least personally.
Yeah, I love working from home. I used to do it when I worked in Santa Barbara, but now that was actually short time. I'm talking about maybe working remotely a few days and then going back during some construction days. But here it's different. Yeah, you're right. Here we're anticipating working at least two, maybe even more months this year remotely. So what I did, it's, I'm just lucky to be living where I am right now because it does offer me a luxury that I think most people don't have, and that's a spare room that I can actually convert it into an office slash live studio. So as you can see, this is where I am right now in my little live studio. And I just come in here, clock in, do my 8 hour shift, 9 hours with the lunch included in there. But I do that, and then I just get out of the room and that's it. Like this is my creative zone here. Once I leave this room, it's just relaxing time and spending time with family and everything, and that's it. So just having that distinction from room to room, I think has just really made me enjoy not only what I do, but also working from home. But I do go out every now and then. Of course, I just went to the grocery store today. How is the grocery store situation for you in particular? You go out and you shop, and after going to work or before work. How do you do it, and what do you see once you get to the grocery store?
For me, I did go get like my kind of panic shop type of thing like 2 weeks before things got a little crazier. So when I went, everything was relaxed, but I felt weird because I knew I was shopping with intention and I knew I was shopping to have a little more stuff. And so I kind of missed the gap of like when everything went crazy and missing. And then on Monday, Tuesday, I went grocery shopping at noon and it was actually really relaxed. They had like a lot of food, everything was kind of stocked up. I went to HEB, which, if anyone knows, that's big here in Texas. And basically, they had like these things on the ground that said remember social distancing or something about social distancing. So it was always helping their customers be aware of where you're standing, how far you're standing, to make sure everyone has the best experience and the safest experience. And HEB here, at least, they are monitoring how many people go in at a time so people can safely shop. So that's what it's like right now. I haven't seen any crazy empty shelves personally, but we have video and have had stores like that here too.
Yeah, yeah. I was, like I mentioned earlier, I was just at Ralph's this morning, near my neighborhood, and I'm actually going to punch up a series of pictures here for us to watch. But here are some markers that were never there. Now this is the new normal. There's markers on the ground, uh, distance apart, basically saying, you got to wait at this spot, and it kind of just helps the customer, like you said, remember where they are. There's still a line out the door, but not because of the mad rush of people, mostly because they can't have so many people inside the store, so they're letting a certain number of people in there. Seniors get priority, of course. I went there. I got lucky enough that when I went this morning, it wasn't as a big of a line. It started getting longer once I actually exited the store. So I was, I think, maybe like the sixth or seventh person in line, and I think they were letting up to 10 people in there. So I definitely got in there just fine. And the shelves that contained the toilet paper and the paper towels were empty, of course, but I did see the flushable wipes. So luckily I didn't need any toilet paper or any paper products, but it was just interesting to see that shelves are still empty, and I think it's just stores trying to basically like go to their stocking rooms and stock up and waiting for trucks to come in and deliver the goods. But yeah, it was interesting. Nonetheless, there were still plenty of fresh vegetables and what else? Oh, like dairy products. I mean, really, it was stocked up, which was really good to see. Like I said, the only things that were empty were the shelving that had toilet paper and the paper towels. But
Yeah.
also the water was stocked up, so that was actually really good because there was a period of time when you couldn't find water
No,
even on the
Lord,
shelves.
yep.
Yeah, so this was I was glad they had water because I actually did need water. We tend to just on a normal day and before this whole thing broke of this whole pandemic, we used to just go to Costco to get the 6 pack of I think it's like a gallon worth of
Yeah.
water. So there's six of those because we like to make coffee using that water. I don't really trust the tap water. I've never have. So we use this clean water to make our coffee and anything else that we drink out of it.
Mhm.
So it was glad. I was glad to see water, and so I just grabbed some. And there was no limit. Right now, grocery stores are imposing limits on how many products you can take, especially toilet
Yeah.
paper products and other paper products. Yeah, in this case, it said there were limits on other things, but when it got to the water aisle, you see a sign that said
Mhm.
no limit on water. But again, people were
That's
not
interesting.
rushing, if you will. They like on the early days when they were
Yeah.
panic buying. Um, Now it was more. Oh, and here's the other thing I noticed: everybody was respectful, and also everybody was trying to keep their distance as best as possible. It's a little hard when you have this long line of people trying to get into the store. And like I said, I was lucky enough that I got there early enough that I just there weren't that many people, so I did keep. I had like a 6 foot buffer. I
Yeah.
almost forgot. Again, I have not been out of the house a lot since I started working remotely, so I almost forgot the whole social distancing thing. And then
Yeah.
yeah, and then I remembered. Oh wait, yeah. Um, I gotta do it.
Never,
Yeah,
yeah. Whenever I was at HEB, it's like you sometimes would, get your little cart and go by someone, not intentionally, but you're kind of driving down the same aisle. And I don't know what it is, but you'd be like, sorry. Or like you kind of look at each other, kind of like, I know we're not supposed to be passing this close, but I got to go this way and you got to go that way. So it was interesting too, though, shopping from that perspective where there's these markers on the ground and you have to take your space, but the aisles are only so big and you don't want to like intrude or anything. But you're like, hi, and, you're being nice, but just trying to like remember the social distancing. So that reminded me of that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your reporting actually, because I do digital. I used to be a news photographer back in the day. Thankfully, I'm not anymore, especially during these times when you have to go out and interview people. Now I get to be at home and work in the digital world and within the digital space. But for you, that you have to go out and interview folks, like how are you doing that and keeping that social distancing thing going?
For me, I've had a lot of interviews that are FaceTime interviews or Zoom interviews. And when I'm out and about, I haven't found a way. I know I see so many other reporters who have like a broomstick or a boom or something for their mics. But because I still work by myself, depending on where I go and depending on who I talk to, I'll like hand them the lav mic. And instead of worrying about making sure it's put correctly, I'm like, put it on wherever. And I just make sure my shots are really tight so you don't see where the mic is at. And they're super sweet as well, depending on like who I'm talking to. And I'm like, okay, here's the mic. And they just quickly grab it and like, okay. And I have it on and they just like put it wherever. If they have a jacket, I'm not like worried about the prettiness of it. And then I just stand back really far anyway and do my interviews. And that's kind of how I've been doing it the few times I do go get an interview, because we are trying to get a lot of FaceTime interviews and Zooms, but we're also still trying to be out there as well. And I mean, other than that, I literally have Lysol wipes with me in my bags now,
Good.
on top of everything else I have. I'm always cleaning off my mics, and I see who I'm around and what I'm doing, and that's how it's worked for me. But I do want to figure out some way of like having one of those long sticks.
Exactly. Right now, a lot of these things are that normally you wouldn't think would be sold out or sold out of
Yeah.
stock. A lot of the things I'm seeing are more people that are homebound are creating more digital content that they're uploading to social media platforms, and so
Yeah.
that requires hardware and it requires some, I like to call them tech toys.
Mhm.
And so all these things that are just all these little tech toys are just flying out of the shelves. Well, in this case, they're being ordered. I mean, Amazon, Best Buy, all these electronic stores or stores that sell electronics. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're not carrying some of this stuff. They're out
Yeah.
of stock for the time being.
Like the ring lights too. I see a lot of reporters using that at home.
Yeah. And in fact, the ring light I was eyeing before all this happened because I was working to set up my live studio. In fact, that's why you see the white
Yeah.
wall in the back because I was planning on doing something with it. But it's gonna work in increments throughout the year. Basically, maybe I want to say maybe I was like at least 4 months away from implementing what we're
Mhm.
doing now, this vlog, because That's what I was working towards. But then, the pandemic happened, and so now I've started to. It just precipitated me doing these things. But I'm really happy. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun doing these daily vlogs and just chatting with friends and about how they're doing. And my camera just went out, but no worries. Bam, I'm gonna be back. There you go. Um,
No.
yeah, it's one of the things that I'm gonna upgrade soon. There's some cameras that don't shut off after 30 minutes. This one does to
Yeah.
fail safe, so that it doesn't, burn out. But in any case, yeah. So you do work, and then you have your personal life. But is there anything that any like I don't know, side projects, hobbies that you're doing on the side just to keep your sanity and keep yourself a little
Yeah.
distracted from what's happening right now?
Yeah, so a lot of my coworkers live in the same apartment complex that I live at because we actually live behind our station. You could like see it from here. It's like a 30-second walk. And so one of my best friends, she's a producer at the station and she lives like a couple apartments down. So every day after the shows, we like walk around. We used to go to yoga together, but yoga shut down. But yoga is usually the thing we'd go to a lot to kind of stay insane and stuff. And now that yoga the studio, they've got classes online and stuff, but it's not the same being at home. We want to get out of our apartments. So we walk around and kind of catch up and just kind of debrief and relax here. And a lot of people in my apartment complex are actually doing that. So it's funny because at a certain time you walk around and you're like, "Hi neighbor, hey, how are you? Hey, you're my coworker's friend, la la," and we're all like kind of the community speaking more to each other. So that's kind of something I'm doing. I'm constantly FaceTiming my parents, but that's normal. I always do that anyway. Continuing to just cook and do other things and giving myself Netflix time, but not overdoing that either because that can also drive me insane. So just I'm kind of doing what I used to do. Just I'm not going to the yoga studio or I'm not going to the gym or to the stores. They're closed. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
that. I feel fine. Like I don't feel as overwhelmed as I thought I would. If that makes sense.
yeah,
I probably get, but right now I don't feel like that yet.
yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, I'm growing some facial hair. I want to see how much I can grow in one week. that's
Oh,
that's one
awesome.
that's one my project. In fact, let me zoom in a little bit more. Let's see. Maybe if I go full screen, you'll see it a little better. But I have a little bit of mustache going on. So this is I think this Saturday is actually going to be the uh, 1 week anniversary of my growing
You're
my facial
remote.
hair out.
Oh,
So we'll
uh-huh.
see. We'll see where it goes. But normally I wouldn't be able to do this because every couple days I would shave. It's just that work ethic. You're just gonna have to dress nice and go to work and look clean shaven. It's just
Yeah.
what I do. But yeah, we'll see. That's my little thing that I'm doing right now, and I'm having some fun with that. Uh,
Oh, and
but uh-huh.
I've seen a lot of people post pictures of like what it's really like dressing, when you're working from home. And like for me the other day, I came home and I knew I was going to be home the whole day. So I like put on some gym tights and a t-shirt and I was like sitting just like typing away and getting everything done. And then I threw my dress, threw my dress and I left my gym tights on. And then I couldn't find my band to put my mic to shoot my look live or my live. And so I put like a scarf around my leg and like just put a scarf and put my mic on there. And I was like, this is what it's like to work at home. Like it's different because if you were out and about, you'd just be wearing your dress and your flats. And over here, I'm like wrapping this scarf around my leggings that I left on. So
Oh
it's different
man.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, Alyssa, before we wrap this up, is there anything else you want to add or say that we didn't, chat about uh, in this little vlog today?
I just think this is something that, as journalists, and all of us working in the field, and all of us that are not working in the field, just normal people who tune into the news, or everyone, it's going to be something we remember forever. Like I feel like with this, we actually have more viewers that tune in because they care about finding out what's happening. And I don't know, I just feel like this is something we're all going to remember, and we have to adapt the best we can. I feel like for us news gurus, like we learn to adapt fast because we're moving markets, or you're adapting. You just go with it. So I feel like I wish and I hope everyone can find a routine, learn to adapt, enjoy what we can, and remember this, not just be miserable hoping to get back to normal, because there is no normal. Even when there is a normal, there is no normal. So just
Yeah.
life.
Exactly. Exactly. And I imagine right now you're uh, talking to your family via
FaceTime
FaceTime.
all the time.
That's
Yeah, I
good.
have more than one there.
Yeah, and you're from California, right?
Mhm. Yep, Central
Yeah.
Valley.
So it's
Yeah,
probably just a regular day for you talking to your family via FaceTime because of the distance you
yeah,
have to begin with.
yeah.
Um, but I really want to thank you for coming on this little vlog today and just chatting with me. And I'm glad to see that you're staying safe and that you're healthy. And I wish the best for your family as well. So thank
Thanks
you
for
again.
inviting me on here.
Yeah,
Can't
of
wait to see if
course.
it's going to continue growing.
Of course. Let me go back to you real quick. I wanted to let you
Yes.
finish that thought. I accidentally pushed a button. That's the beauty of
Oh,
live TV. But I kind of cut you off a little bit there, so I'm sorry about that. So go ahead and
no,
finish your thought.
I was just going to say, I wish you the best as you continue growing this blog, and thank you for inviting me on here. I think all of us reporters and anyone who works in the news, like yourself, we're all experiencing different things, but we're all in it together somehow. And it's different with us being like in the middle of it all versus watching it. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you. And this is going to continue growing, and we get to show
Oh,
people what's going on.
thank you. Thank Yeah, and you'll have to come back on and just give us an update on how
Update.
things are going. I love updates. Follows.
So
Um,
now what?
Oh, yeah. Well, today over here in Los Angeles, again, it's going to be a full day of press conferences. So,
Yeah.
yeah, normally the information, it's a little bit hard to keep with the information. Luckily, I count on a team that helps with everything, and I do my part as well when I clock in and do my shift. But yeah, all these press conferences always include some new information, and they're every day practically. We have like four big main
Yeah.
ones. There's the White House that has a press conference, the health
Yep.
department, county officials, and all that. And then here there's a press conference with the mayor of LA, Eric Garcetti. He usually has information updates on the situation and responses and maybe new orders that he's
Yeah.
implemented. And then there was one more. Oh yeah, Governor Gavin Newsom. How could I forget?
Yep.
The governor
Yep.
also holds a press conference. The hours of that vary, so I'm not really sure. I mean, some of these agencies, they do take a time slot every day, and they just go with that and they stick with that time slot. But for some reason, the governor is kind of like all over the place. So either you'll have it, either he has the press conference like before four
Yeah.
o'clock or before 5 o'clock, that is, or he has it.
It's stressful when you have a show.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the newscasts now is that we're focusing so much on the press conferences because that's where the freshest information is coming in. So once these press conferences happen, if they keep going past the regular news time slot, the
Mm-hmm.
station just takes it.
Good.
If it
Yeah.
cuts into other regular programming, it's going to cut into other regular programming. But it's important that this information gets out there to the public straight from the officials. But
Yeah.
that's what's happening today. So I'm gonna clock in a few hours here, and yeah, we'll get the show started for the afternoon shift.
Good. Today's my Sunday, so
Oh,
I kind of
perfect. Yeah.
try and be brief, but
Well,
I
and
don't. I'm always
uh,
email sharing stuff and looking for stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your time off. Do something fun, and yeah, we'll touch base again.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you. For everybody watching this, also a big thank you. Thank you for supporting this vlog by just viewing it, commenting. If you have any questions, of course, and I'll just get back to you. Like I said, I'm working on answering your questions live because I really want to make it look nice. But I'm gonna go back afterwards and after this broadcast, and also go through your comments that way. Yeah, follow your local government officials and local news media for the latest information on this COVID-19 crisis. Yes, so stay safe, take care of you, your family, each other, and as always, get some fresh air. Make sure you stay mentally healthy overall, and we'll see you again probably tomorrow. I'm really liking these daily vlogs. So, yeah, till then, have a good one.